Ready? Yes. Are we on? Okay. Okay, guys, we're going to get started this evening. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. I'm going to call to order for the meeting of the Board of Education, March 18th, 2026, at 6:30 p.m. in the boardroom of the Administration Building at 70 Conover Road. Mr. Marasco, could we get a roll call, please?
Sure. Mrs. Cameron?
Present.
Mrs. Horowitz? Present. Mr. Rico? Mr. Rignetta? Mr. Scales?
Here.
Mr. Scarpa?
Here.
Mrs. Volpe?
Here.
Mr. Walsh?
Here.
Mr. Wickberg?
Here.
Thank you. You do have a quorum. We
Oh.
okay there?
Okay.
Are we okay?
Everything okay? All right, no worries. Sorry about that. I hope you're right there. All right. Okay, pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, this meeting has been duly advertised in the Asbury Park Press in a schedule of meetings dated January 23rd, 2026, notice of which has been filed with the Deputy Clerk for Coles Neck Township, and the requirement of posting of notices have been met. At this time, I'd like to invite everybody to stand for our flag salute and also the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Can I get a board member to volunteer to read the mission statement? Oh, Mr. Rico?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
The mission of Coles Neck Township Schools is to empower and inspire students to be confident, creative, self-sufficient learners who maximize their strengths and talents and contribute as responsible participants in their ever-expanding world.
Great, thank you. To start off the meeting tonight, the last meeting we had, I wanted to recognize the lost military service people that were killed in the Iran conflict. And I mentioned the 4 that we were notified of, and I'd just like to list the other ones that died in the Iraq accident. And their names are Major John Clinner, who was 33 years old from Alabama, Captain Ariana Savino, 31 years old from Washington, Sergeant Ashley Pruitt, 34 years old from Kentucky, Captain Seth R. Koval, 38 years old from Indiana, Captain Curtis Angst, 30 years old from Iowa, Sergeant Tyler Simmons, 28 years old from Ohio, Sergeant Ben Pennington, 26 years old from Kentucky, Chief Robert Mazan, 54 years old, Major Jeffrey O'Brien, 45 years old. I just want to take a moment of silence to show respect to these servicemen who gave absolutely everything so we could stand here tonight and speak freely. So if we could just get a moment of silence. Okay, thank you very much for recognizing their loss in service. Okay, at this time, I want to take notice for the approval of minutes. If anybody has any questions or comments on those, I'd like to get a roll call to approve those minutes. Are there any questions or comments? All right, Ms. Marasco, if we could get a roll call on
We
those.
have a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you, roll call. Sorry about that.
Mrs. Cammer,
Yes.
Mr. Rico,
Yes.
Mr. Scales,
Yes.
Mr. Scarpa,
Yes.
Mrs. Volpe,
Yes.
Mr. Walsh.
Yes.
Mr. Wickman.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion carried.
Okay, great. At this time, we are going to have a presentation. One of our board liaisons is here, Kira Harlan. She is going to get up and speak to some issues or maybe comments or concern from our student body at Cedar Drive. So we'd like to give her our full attention and listen to her report. So if you could proceed, Mrs. Harlan.
Hello, I hope you're all doing well. On Tuesday, I had a meeting with Mr. Toscano to go over what he has found so far in the midpoint check-in to look at the conditions of computers. He has checked over 204 out of 317 students' computers in the school. He found that so far 1/3 of the student body has no issues with their computers. Meanwhile, one main finding he discovered was that 28 of the 204 students had written on their computers. Mr. Toscano is continuing to work on this computer check-in during homerooms. I had a meeting with Dr. Rigby about the desks in the school because students like to have the storage compartment under the desks. And right now, there are multiple kinds of desks, and most do not provide storage. I'm trying to figure out how many desks of each desk we have right now in the building. I'll have a report for the next meeting. Thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of your night.
Great. Thank you. If I could ask you just a couple questions, and I want to open it to the board, too, if they have any questions for you. Once again, I want to thank you for this initiative. It's going to save us thousands of dollars in expense over the course of the school years. Do you find that this initiative has improved the protection of our Chromebooks? Do you feel like the
Yeah.
students are being more cognizant of?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. And Dr. Rigby must be very happy about that, right? Yeah. Anybody have any questions or comments for this particular initiative that Mrs. Harlan brought forth?
I have one for the second one, the
Yeah.
student desks.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that the storage under the desks is something that you and other students
Yes.
really find valuable. So are you possibly suggesting that as we're looking to buy new desks down in the future, that we're only
Yeah,
looking
that
for
have
ones that have
compartments
storage?
and
Is that the future
Yeah.
goal? Okay, that's really good to know. Any other suggestions with desks?
Not really.
Okay. All right, thank you.
If I could add,
Yeah, absolutely.
because we don't carry backpacks, right,
Yeah.
in the middle school. So that for different reasons, we don't carry them. So it's a place for storage, which I can understand that perception, that perspective as well. So thank you.
Yeah.
Great. We're looking forward to the next report. Hopefully, everybody's going to really, really take care of the Chromebooks, and we don't have one single bill for the rest of the year. Thank you very much. We appreciate you
Yeah.
being here. Thank you. I was just going to say, folks, if you want to come in, we have plenty of seats up here. Please don't be shy. Right up here, miss, right here. Great, thank you. Okay, moving on, I always like to take note of our communications. Everybody could look through those. I just want to make a few comments on the communications. We always appreciate feedback from the public. I have personally responded to most of these. I believe the ones that came in yesterday and today. I apologize, I will be getting to them. I just haven't had the time to do that the past day or so. But I wanted to just make a comment. There were some communications that had concerns about the safety of our campuses here regarding the school name change. And I want to make it clear to everybody, the people watching at home and the ones that came tonight, our district has not received any type of threat regarding the proposal. There has not been anything brought to my attention, to the police department in town. I already confirmed with Dr. Garibay over the past week or two. There hasn't been any threats, threatening violence, any incidents whatsoever. So I just want to make the public clear of the, an answer to some of the people that wrote in about those things. At this time, I'm going to move right into my president's report. It's quite lengthy, so if I could just get everybody's attention for that. Okay. All right. Before I begin my president's report, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge my fellow board members. Each of the nine members of this Board of Education work endlessly to serve our community, ensuring they maintain the best interests of our students, families, and our taxpayers. As board president, I respect the initiatives, proposals, comments, and ideas that each board member brings forward. Healthy dialogue and diverse perspectives are essential to sound governance, serving as a backbone of the very success of our district. This board values respectful public discourse, and through those efforts, we have established an extremely successful Board of Education here in Colts Neck. On Wednesday, March 4th, during new business section of this Board's Committee of a Whole meeting, a portion of the meeting where we discuss new programs, new opportunities for consideration, a sitting board member brought forth the idea of a potential name change of our primary school. Please be reminded, many ideas are brought forward every single meeting, especially during new business. Some advance forward, others take on a hybrid variation, while others cease to proceed. With that said, I want to make it clear, very clear, the board will not be moving forward on the proposed name change of Conover Road Primary School. As a board, our priorities remain firmly with the responsibilities that directly impact our students and taxpayers. Following Governor Mikey Sherrill's budget address last week, I am once again saddened to report that our district is facing a 5.5% reduction in state aid. This will present another challenging year as we work to offset those losses in an environment of increased student enrollment, further pressuring our near-capacity schools, while failing districts in this state receive millions of dollars in state aid. Despite these challenges, we remain steadfast to our commitment to making responsible decisions that support the educational experience of our children while remaining mindful of the taxpayers who support our district. We remain advocates of respectful public discourse and fair and open dialogue. Over the past 2 weeks, I have had the opportunity to attend several events within our community. With that, I'd like to show that on Monday, March 2nd, I attended the human trafficking event with Dr. Garibay, Mr. Scarpa, and Dr. Rigby, and supporting staff. The awareness event, it was an extremely informative and eye-opening discussion on an issue that continues to affect communities across our country. I want to thank Dr. Garibay for bringing this important initiative forward and for providing parents in our district the opportunity to learn more about this critical topic affecting our society. On March 10th, I attended the New Jersey School Boards Association's 8th grade dialogue in Oceanport. I am proud to share that Paula Kozix represented Cedar Drive School and did a fantastic job highlighting her daily experiences as well as the many programs and opportunities offered at Cedar Drive. I would like to thank Dr. Rigby, Mrs. Hums, and Dr. Garibay for attending with me. It was a great event. It was truly a pleasure to be there and recognize Paula's outstanding representation of our district. Also, I took the liberty of inviting Committeeman Buzetta and Committeewoman Tara Buss to meet with me, our Finance Committee, and members of our administration team to discuss long-range facility planning, projected enrollments related to affordable housing developments, and the potential impact on taxpayers. It was a very productive and informative meeting. Both sides gained valuable insight, and we look forward to continuing these discussions as needed to ensure we are planning responsibly for the future of our community. I also, just to speak candidly on this, I also spoke to Committeewoman Buss regarding the bus stop on cameras that I had went to the meeting to request that we be reimbursed a percentage from that initiative that Mr. Walsh brought forth a few months ago. And unfortunately, she had told me due to state, I guess, regulations, the state gets 70%, our town gets 30%, and out of the 30%, we still are not entitled to a percentage of that. I'm not sure the reasoning, but that is the law. So, sorry to report on that. Last night, I met with Colts Neck Sports Foundation's leadership, Mr. Luthman and Mr. Carfora, as promised. I also invited Mr. Wickberg, who is our sports liaison, and Dr. Garibay to discuss their needs for the upcoming season. During our conversation, we reviewed several important topics, including scheduling overlaps that were an issue recently, concerns regarding the doors of the school locked upon student arrival for their sports, and a potential use of our facilities for their advertising opportunities. I have extended a second invitation to continue these discussions, which will take place before the end of the school year. I am very proud to partner, to continue our value partnership with the Sports Foundation. Lastly, on Tuesday, me and the finance team met with external resources in regards to the potential opportunity for our facility updates. I'm going to defer to maybe Mr. Rico, Mr. Scarpa, if you want to, add some comments regarding those discussions. I invite you to do so at this time.
So regarding the long-range planning, we've looked at a few options. We looked at every option when it comes to leasing, possibly, reserve accounts, and also, possibly referendum. So these are 3 items that are at our disposal. We have an amazing AAA bond rating, so it would be very advantageous for us to take advantage of that with lower interest rates and 3 years of financing. So,
yeah, and I'll add that this board remains steadfast to long-term strategic financial planning, and in doing so, we're exploring all opportunities to both improve our current state of facilities and also set ourselves up for a better tomorrow, especially as we deal with some headwinds with potential influx of students and families throughout Colts Neck. So this is the right level conversation that we are having with the right people at the right time. These things take time, especially facility improvements. We'll certainly communicate our strategies as we proceed forward, but good conversations are being had.
yes, and the good news is we do have very good options, and we are juggling a few obstacles, regarding the affordable housing, but I believe with the conservative approach and the options that we have at our disposal, we will be in very good financial shape in the future.
Okay. At this time, I want to make some candid comments in regards to some social media posts regarding our district, and I'm going to have Dr. Garibay chime in on some of the actual facts that are kind of never reported in the media. Recently, Senator Vin Gopal called this district out once again, and I'm not sure why, because he's our representative, and our district has been performing exceptionally well. So I take offense to his negative comments about this district. He is on a mission to consolidate districts around the state, and I'm against doing that here in Colts Neck because I feel that we are going to lose our student-to-teacher ratios, and the fact that we are highly we are highly scored. I feel like doing the consolidation will only hurt Colts Neck, so I'm against it. And he just made some negative comments that he claims that somebody from this district called him to express their concerns about how Cedar Drive, our middle school here, does not prepare our students for high school. Well, my daughter is in 8th grade here, and she does exceptionally well due to the guidance of all the teachers and staff in this district. And she is completely ready for high school, and I think they did a fantastic job bridging that gap from the mathematics that we present to our students from here and while they're transferring into high school. I asked Dr. Garibay to basically speak to this because I was very insulted on his comments regarding our district and how we operate. So would you mind discussing some of these issues that he's accusing of us and what exactly we do with our students when they're transferring?
Sure. Thank you. So we work in partnership in tandem with our legislators for the betterment of our schools and communication. And so I made outreach to Senator Gopal regarding concerns about reading, statements that were brought forth to him by a constituent, a Colts Neck parent, former parent, it seemed that, and asking him about a little bit more about that so we can always be proactive in our reflective practices and trying to, for the betterment. It's not, the first time that a legislator has reached out to me personally as the superintendent in the past where there's been a concern that's been brought forward, and I was given an opportunity to do that. So I wanted that same opportunity, and we engaged in a conversation where I invited to and did share with the senator regarding mathematics instruction, which was this specific area of concern that currently our 8th grade students utilize the same textbook series, which is Big Ideas, as the Freehold Regional High School District, ensuring a seamless transition in terms of content, terminology, instructional approaches. We schedule articulations not just with the Regional High School District, but also with the other sending K-8 districts. We have conversations about math acceleration pathways. Not all of the K-8s that send to the regional go to geometry by the end of 8th grade, so our students are able to take high school level classes and complete them before entering high school, which opens up advanced pathways for them when they are in high school. With regards to standards and assessment, the curriculum is aligned to the New Jersey State Learning Standards. So whether you're in 8th grade or 7th grade or progressing through, we always want to make sure that we have standards aligned curriculum, and that's something we do as we build forward. In our articulation, making sure that we have that type of articulation with the high school. When we look at our particular growth over the past 4 years, we have significant growth in middle school. I attribute that to changes that we've made in programming, our math coach, our administrators who are working hard, our teachers who are being more and more receptive to our building thinking classrooms that we've shared. I know Dr. Reynolds and I know Mrs. Kemmer spoke to it a little bit as well. Our big ideas, the structures that we've had in place. We also participate, have memberships in Association of Mathematics of Teachers, Educators, Association of National Council of Teachers of Mathematics, as many other teachers have those professional affiliations. There's also summer advancement opportunities for students in the regional, and for students who have graduated from Cedar Drive and heading to high school, there's an established pathway to take Algebra 1 over the summer through the Freehold Regional High School District Summer Program if they choose to do so. So I think that, being able to share and open up a dialogue about what we do to really prepare students and they're going into the regional, whichever school of their choice. There's a lot of options, and that's part of the benefit, I think, of the Colts Neck Township schools and any of the sending regional districts. There's many, many high school options, and if you listen to our students, not to call on you, Ms. Harlan, again, but it becomes a little even overwhelming at times where there's so many options, and in 7th grade starting those conversations about where we want to go, and if it's Colts Neck High School, if there's a magnet program they want to go to, a vocational school they want to go to, a private school that they want to go to, there's a lot of options. And we have acceptance rates and all of those areas. So that's something we're very proud of. So we want to open up that dialogue to make sure that publicly there's an understanding, and if any parent has a concern in any way, shape, or form about the preparation, once they leave us, one of the things we say to students all the time is that once you're ours, right? You never really, we always have you in our hearts, and moving forward, we want to certainly support you. So any parent that has a question or a concern about how a child is performing once they leave us, I so encourage you to reach back out to us to let us know so that we can incorporate that into our constant professional reflective practice.
Okay, great. So I'm glad you explained that because Mr. Gopal seems to continuously, like I said, call out this district, and we have been nothing but successful and high achieving. So I just wanted to point that out to the public. At this time,
Just real quick, Dr. Garrett, did he agree to apologize publicly for those comments?
That wasn't something that wasn't part of our communication.
Mrs. Cameron, I do have a question. When you attended the New Jersey School Board's dialogue or meeting virtually with Mr. O'Scanlan and Mr. Gopal, did he ever return your questions, return your call or on the questions you had asked?
No, but that was the school board
Yeah.
that was supposed to get the questions answered and returned. But as of now, I have not received any responses.
Okay, all right. Seems he has a lot to say in the media, but not when we contact him. Okay, I want to go over some of the state aid that we lost, 5.5%. It's a lot higher than, not a lot, a percentage higher than last year. So, like I said, I'm very disappointed to hear that. And I'm not sure. Homedale was raised by 1%, so I'm not really sure why they got a 1% increase. I was discussing it with Mr. Scales. I don't know if you want to make a couple of comments on some of the districts that are failing, that are getting excessive amounts of state aid. If you can touch on that, and then I'm going to have Dr. Garibay speak to a few items as well.
Yeah, I think, you could see it sort of, it's in the media. It's one of the biggest challenges that we've got as a school district at the moment is that the state algorithm that determines, penalizes financially successful districts. So in other terms, the Robin Hood equation, if you will. So if you look at districts like Camden, if you look at districts in North Jersey, South Jersey, even Ocean, Lakewood, Jackson, those historically fiscally irresponsible districts, they will receive an increase year over year in taxes. So just so the public is aware of, I think you understand how taxes work. Your property taxes go towards the school. So if you look at Mr. Gopal's sort of his proposal to move the districts together, to consolidate districts, and this Robin Hood algorithm, what happens with your tax dollars is you pay for your own district, but now you're paying for another district. And then what happens on top of that is now, because you have this state funding, that was removed from our district, another 5%, as President Volpe had mentioned, your state income taxes now are used, and money is taken from your pocket and put into a pool that is given to other school districts. So you, as a taxpayer here in Colts Neck, New Jersey, now pay for 3 different school districts. So that's all my comments on that.
All right, thank you, Mr. Scales. Dr. Garibay, do you want to add anything about these figures while we have it on the table?
Sure. So the reduction in state aid that we have, it exceeds the cap, what was a proposed cap of 3% in losses. That was something that was very publicly made known before the state aid numbers were actually released. And our loss is in our biggest area of revenue loss for next school year is in state military impact aid. Now that is different than federal impact aid that we receive, which is for the land. This is for the students. This is more about an allocation that you get directly within the formula. This falls outside of the categorical aid of school districts that was incorporated or addressed through the 3%. So in other words, it was aid that we get specifically because we are a military affiliated school district that not all other districts get, and so therefore it wasn't beholden to the 3% cap of loss. It is one area of revenue where we lost money. We had, excuse me for a second, we had, excuse me for 1 second. Okay, so that loss was $302,000 from the prior year. That being said, we had a 9.2% increase in transportation aid. I'm sorry, special education, categorical special education aid. So when you look, as we now, as a board, as we look at a budget, we lost in total of that 5.4%, which is the loss, $186,349, because our percentage of state aid is not vast, right? It's not, we don't get a tremendous amount. We're very heavy on our tax levy. So that being said, that's where it falls. That's one part of our revenue that went down. Now, a question that was asked, I think that came through a constituent, was where is that going to be met up? Does that all mean we're automatically cutting $186,000 worth of stuff out of the budget? The answer is no. We're still shaking out the tentative budget. That's going to be approved next Tuesday. But what it does mean is one of the things we also look at is this year, moving forward from last year, we have audited surplus that has to go into the budget, which is increased from last year. So as those numbers, you have to, your revenues have to match your appropriations. That's what has to happen. That's referred to as a balanced budget. So when everything shakes out, everything that we spend has to match with all of our revenue, whether that comes from state aid, whether that comes from tax levy, whether it comes from our reserve accounts, wherever it comes from, or revenue that, you know, wherever it comes from, we allocate it, that's where we make it up in that balance. So it's one source of revenue that was decreased, whereas other areas of, you know, monies that will help sustain the budget might be increased. So it's all being shaken out at this point in time.
Mind if I summarize?
Sure.
Yeah. So if we look at, you know, what our oath of office is essentially as board members, we're held to fiscal responsibility, right? Our job is to balance the budget. You just heard from Mr. Scarpa and from Mr. Arrico of how hard we work and how financially successful this district has been. So given the comments from, you know, Dr. Garibay, what I had just mentioned about affordable housing and things like that, you now look at what the state is asking the town of Colts Neck to do. The state of New Jersey is asking Colts Neck to build over 1,000 units into our district, right? So we build 1,000 units. They're now taking money away from our district. So those two things in itself, is the state of New Jersey holding themselves to the Constitution of having a financially successful state and town? The answer to that is no. So we've got some attention in town over the last couple weeks. So what I would urge everyone to do as well is to use that passion that you all have and to write to your senators and to write to your governor and to write to your representatives, because they are forcing you as Colts Neck taxpayers to take money out of your pockets and to force us as a school district to make very tough choices. We have 500 additional students that are estimated to come to the district. We'd have to build an entirely new school. Entirely new school costs a lot of money. So use that passion that you have and ask all of your government officials to stop what they're doing, because it's no longer financially stable.
Great, thank you for those comments. Okay, that will conclude my president's report. We are going to move right into the board liaison reports. Mrs. Horowitz is not available this evening. I'm just going to point out for the Parent Advisory Committee, our next meeting will be Monday, this coming Monday. The last two meetings, unfortunately, were canceled for snow reasons, so this will be our first meeting that we've had in a long time. So that will be on this Monday at 7 p.m. I will be attending as usual, and Mr. Scarpa will be joining me this Monday. Moving into the Colts Neck PTO, I don't have much. The only thing I do want to recognize, tomorrow is the gala the PTO Gala. I want to just wish Mrs. Kaufman and her entire team a fantastic evening. I know it's such a huge event for our school district. They make so much money in fundraising to put back to our kids and all great things that they donate to us. So I just want to wish them well, and all the moms of the district have a fantastic time tomorrow night. Moving into the Colts Neck Township School newsletter, I'm going to pass it off to Mrs. Camera.
Thank you. So I'm just reminding residents who do not receive the newsletter via email that you can go to the school website, Colts Neck Township Schools. We have a link to subscribe. It's the Board of Education tab. You go under newsletters, and I'm encouraging all residents to subscribe. Our spring edition of the newsletter will be published at the end of this week. Tomorrow I'll be sending a draft to Dr. Garibay and the board just to edit it and look over it. That's all. Thank
We're
you.
looking forward to that. Okay, Colts Neck Township Sports, Arts, and Extracurriculars. Mr. Regnetta is not here tonight. I would like to ask Mr. Wickberg to say a few words on the, if you will.
Yes, I got two things. The soccer tryouts are going to take place the week of April 13th through 17th. The boys U8 through U11 will be Monday and Wednesday, 5 to 6:15. Boys U11 plus is going to be Tuesday and Thursday, 6:30 to 7:45. Girls will be Tuesday and Thursday from 5 to 6:15. And all players are expected to attend both tryouts. Also, there is the spring basketball skills clinic that was just announced. This is going to be co-ed to sharpen players' fundamentals, improve basketball IQ, and just to stay active this spring. The dates are, it will be 6 consecutive Mondays, April 13th, 20th, and 27th, and May 4th, 11th, and 18th. Location will be at Conover Road Elementary School, and it'll take grades 2nd through 8th. Session times for grades 2 through 4 will be 5 to 6, and grades 5 to 8 will be from 6 to 7. That's all.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Mr. Wickberg. We appreciate that. Moving right into the Colts Neck Township Committee, Mr. Walsh. Mr. Scarpy may have to assist with that. For some reason,
Two of
Mr.
them.
Walsh
I'll
always
take- I'll
gets...
put two on.
Yeah, it's okay.
The Township Committee, the basic, one night, a big concern, and obviously for the whole township, is the affordable housing ruling by the Superior Court judge decision was made March 9th, striking down the township submittal under round 4. The judge basically had enough of the township's, their plan, his interpretation, the interpretation of the judge didn't sit right with him, or her, forget the name of the judge. Basically, the 3 sites in the town were, the town has to change the master plan for those 3 sites, and we have to build over 865 units to comply with the judge's order. One of those particular zones was a low density. The judge just basically had enough. He decided to rule completely against the town. So a lot of the residents came out and angry, upset. Can't believe this is happening to the town. It was a legal ruling. The town is going to be appealing the decision. And so they have to comply by a certain date. I think it's early April. They change the zoning for the master plan, and compliance by May. And if they don't, basically the builders are going to be able to build anywhere in this town on any piece of property. So again, the Mount Laurel housing is forced housing on every town in the state, causing economic chaos. Infrastructure for the schools, the residents' taxes, infrastructure of the town, police, fire, and everything else. So that was basically the meeting, I have to say. There's a lot of other things, but that took predominantly, that was the focus on our town.
Thank you, Mr. Walsh. Back to you, Mrs. Camera, for the Colts Neck 250th Celebration Committee.
Thank you again. Our last meeting was Thursday, March 12th. A reminder to families and Colts Neck High School families that the calendar contest is on. Dr. Garibay updated the flyer for the Townships contest. It's also on the Colts Neck Township Schools website under USA 250. So, great news. Our seniors will receive $200 if they win, and they will get the cover of the calendar contest, and winners from grades kindergarten through 11 will receive $100. So that was the newest update from the meeting, so I thought that was very exciting. Likewise, we have our Board of Education video contest under the same tab. So again, I encourage families to go on and get your kids involved. Under that same tab, we have links to all of the Monmouth County events, including what's going on at the Monmouth County Library, all the national events, such as the White House, the National Park Services, etc. I also had sent links to Dr. Garibay to order flags. Residents may have noticed there are flags around Town Hall, 1776 flags. So I'm hoping maybe after spring break, our schools, if we could have that maybe as a goal to have the schools decorated. I think it'd be amazing for the kids to come back after spring break and get really excited for the 250th birthday. The next township event will be the barn tour. That's Wednesday, May 6th. It's sponsored by the CNBA. And as I get more information, I'll be sharing it. And just a reminder for all residents to join the Colts Neck 250th page. It's on Facebook and Instagram, so you can see all the highlights. And that's everything.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun there. Okay, back to Mr. Walsh with the Colts Neck seniors.
We had a lot of seniors at St. Patrick's Day last night. We had a great time.
Okay. All right. Mr. Scarpa with Naval Weapons Station Earl Liaison.
Thank you. This board continues to be an advocate and supporter of our students through the Naval Weapons Station Earl, and we have extended the summer camp program to them at a great rate. So we continue to offer that opportunity for any students through the base that want to participate in the summer camp. Please reach out. That communication has been sent to our representative, and we encourage that continued partnership throughout the summer and into the school year.
Great.
Here's the
Yeah.
flyer for the summer camp program.
Oh, great. Yep, we could leave it out there if anybody wants to pick it up for your kids, maybe, take a look, grandkids. Great, thank you, Mrs. Tamara. Okay, the state and county school boards, I don't have much on this. Just a reminder for the board members, please put in your financial disclosures. And anybody who needs to do their governance training, please make sure that you're within the required amount of time to submit that. That's all I have for that. We're moving right into the superintendent's report. Dr. Garibay, if you would like to proceed with that.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to first start because we were in Read Across America when at our last meeting, and I just wanted to, it was a great success, again, thanking Mrs. Frick for all that she did, our media specialist, but just wanted to point out we also got the results from our readathon, our PTO readathon, and there were approximately $42,000 in donations through the Colts for the PTO readathon, 12% increase from last year. So you can absolutely clap for that, without a doubt. Bigger round of applause for the amount of minutes, over 250,000 minutes logged reading by our kiddos, 500, and that was spread amongst 543 registered students. The winners have been announced, and there's categories such as the winning class, the top fundraisers, and then the top 3 readers per school, as well as the top 3 fundraisers per school. So much thanks and appreciation, and keep on reading. So to all of that, it's just wonderful. I also wanted to follow what President Volpe said with regard to student voice when having Ms. Harlan here and adding that and having that great conversation. Being a part of that 8th grade dialogue is such a highlight where there is a panel of questions, 8th graders from all around the county, from the different sending districts, and they are asked questions about, what would you want your principals to know about what advice would you give yourself going into high school? And the kids just, if you ever want to know what a kid is thinking, ask them. Like, that's honest, 100%, ask them. And I think that it's a great opportunity for 8th graders to come together in the region and get perspectives and learn a little bit about what's happening through their eyes, which is just great. Also, that same week was the Monmouth County Schools Partnership for Wellness, over 300 attendees, and we had another student selected to participate in a panel. It was 5th grader Daphne Kaufman. It was the first time we invited as I'm one of the individuals on the steering committee with many other school leaders across Monmouth County. It was a 5th grade panel, and it was the questions were based about social media and influences and the types of supports at family and things, and she did another outstanding job. So Paula Koziks and Daphne Kaufman truly just represented the district so beautifully in Monmouth County. So I commend them, their parents, and everyone who supported them in that role. So also just very, very well done. I also wanted to point out that it is a busy time. Really, it feels like once March hits, it just keeps going. So this week is Alice in Wonderland Jr. from at Cedar Drive. Performances are Friday at 7 o'clock p.m., Saturday at 2 o'clock p.m., and we have a special presentation at 2:45 tomorrow, in which case we've invited our seniors community as well as our 5th graders from elementary school are coming over to see it as their kind of their dress rehearsal. So we're excited to see that tomorrow and wish the casting crew all the best of luck. Break a leg. It's bad luck, I think, to say good luck. So break a leg, not literally on school property. So, but anyway, so if you're I also just wanted to talk for a minute. And to talk very briefly, because I know that President Volpe is going to speak more about this. There's a lot of conversations, and being out in the community, I've had a lot of questions posed to me about consolidation. There's a lot of communications that is out there about that, and what would that mean, what would that do, so on and so forth. So on a very big scale, just to put in perspective what has happened, in November, there was a bill proposed. The bill has not been signed. It has not been approved. It has not moved forward yet. The bill directs the executive county superintendent of schools, in this case our county superintendent is Dr. Les Richens, to put together a plan to consolidate school districts of 500, a plan that could potentially impact schools of 500 or less students. That's the bill right now that's in place. And if you notice on attachment S1 that appears on the RAM meeting every month, the enrollment of Colts Neck Township schools currently, as of the end of October, was 1,014 students. So as it stands right now in its current form, again, what it means, so on and so forth, is that that bill would not apply to our school district. Okay? Now that being said, future thoughts and so on, there's many resources available through various state agencies, school boards, NJASA, so on and so forth, that talk about regionalization. Know that Colts Neck as a K-8 district already contributes to a regionalized model of education. So we'll go into the nuances of that. But much like conversations about tax, there are avenues of pros that could be explored, but much of it comes down to financial benefit and or not benefit to school districts that we can look at. So I think that there's a very broad scope of conversation, which much more, but I think the immediate, just to hear about the bill that is in place now really does not, as it is written in its current text right now, does not apply to Colts Neck Township schools. So I just wanted to level set with everyone at that point in time, okay? Finally, last thing, I promise. Under personnel, number 1, I would be remiss if I didn't mention 2 very long-standing teachers, outstanding teachers in our district. Note their retirement that is on for recommendation. The first is Mrs. Hope D'Elia, who has been an outstanding part of our math department at Cedar Drive Middle School for 24 years here, and she is retiring in June. She's taught class level. She's been our intervention math teacher for quite some time now, for a couple years now, and she is just an outstanding member of our school community, a true cheerleader for students, support of colleagues, and she will be very, very sorely missed as a staff member at Cedar Drive. Also expressing equal thanks and gratitude for the versatility that Ms. Tatiana Burgos has shown and demonstrated throughout the years. She has been a foreign language teacher, Spanish specifically, at the elementary, at the middle school. She at one point was a targeted intervention teacher in the district, and she too is retiring after 20 years of service here in the Colts Neck Township schools. So teachers with a lot of experience who have been part of our school community for some time. And of course, we, on behalf of everyone, wish both of them the best in happiness, health, and relaxation in their retirement. And that concludes my superintendent's report.
Great, thank you for those kind words. Okay, we are moving right into our information items. If everybody would like to take a notice to 1 and 2 of this information items. Okay, and at this point, we are going to open the floor to our constituents, our residents, for public comment. That's okay. I just want to ask, just out of respect for the community, I'd like to go have the opportunity for the parents of kids in the district to speak first, residents of the district, and then everybody that came from outside of the district. So if anybody here has children in our district that would like to get up and speak, anybody with children in our district?
Our children in the district.
Or what? Or our children. Yeah, if there's any kids here. Were children. Okay, I got what you're saying. If there's any kids, I see some younger people. Okay, I see none. At this time, we'll take taxpayers, residents of our district.
Okay, to be clear, my name's Dan Finney, and I do have kids in the district. And I just wanted to come and applaud Mr. Scales and this board for all the great work that you've been doing. And I understood from the last meeting that there was discussion about renaming one of the schools in honor of our president. And I just want to applaud that. I know there's some, people that are averse to that idea. We have people on both sides. But I think as Americans, that people should really think about the bigger picture. And I wanted to share something with you that might give you some additional perspective. I was selected in 2004 as a mid-grade naval officer to attend the Army Command College and study to become a joint service warfare planner. And in that time, we studied previous wars. We did risk and threat assessments of current geopolitics and other things, asymmetric threats and things like that. At that time, Iran was the #1 concern. I was privy to classified briefings and other information regarding their active efforts to undermine and harm American interests and our allied interests. So the interesting thing today, reading the news about, was Iran really an imminent threat, is really an absurd question from my perspective and my background, because as of 2004, we already knew that they had committed acts of terrorism and have been funding proxy groups and activities, notwithstanding the fact that their leaders have chanted and fomented death to Israel and death to America for many years, and that the potential for them to commit an asymmetric attack on our cities, because they're not going after military targets. It's a deeper ideological threat. And you should know that I was astounded that we have not addressed this threat to our country from 2004 to this day. It astounded me that we people have lived thinking, that everything's just fine. But we have been an imminent threat from Iran and some others. And I'm so blown away and proud that this president, popular or not, is acting to protect and defend the United States of America so that we can have a future and our kids can have a future. And I also will note that we have the Trump National Golf Course here, and they do a lot of good things. It brings a lot of good things to our community. My two boys are signed up for a character development program that's starting soon, through Trump Golf Course. Thank each of you. May God bless each of you, and may God bless America.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else from the community?
Alan Ryan. Thanks for your service to our country, and anybody in here that served our country, thank you. This is the freedom that we got because of you guys. Never forget. That's what this hat says, never forget, ever. To you guys, applause. You have the guts to stand up and remember the country. Beautiful tribute to the 8s. You have guts, let me tell you, really. That's a gutsy move that you made, okay? And I have to tell you, I wouldn't mind to see it, but that's a whole other issue, all right? But I'm going to tell you, you have guts. Good job. Great job by all of you. And just remember, never forget
We don't.
I know you don't, and what these people have done for us to give us this opportunity here. And even if we don't agree, we can agree to disagree. But we do it in a civil manner. I remember hearing a story about Reagan and Tip O'Neill. I'm really aging myself. Every St. Patrick's Day they sat down and they had corned beef and cabbage and beer. And they were friends. They didn't agree. They disagreed more than they agreed. That's the way it should be. Thank you. And God bless Colts Neck and God bless America.
Thank you.
If I may on that one.
Yes.
There's a great book called Tip and the Gipper. Ever get it? Called Tip and the Gipper. It speaks about their relationship. It's a fantastic relationship. Thank you for bringing that up.
Anybody else, a resident? You resident? Okay, come on up, dear. Yeah.
Todd Shackleton, 20 Mulberry Lane. I did have my daughter was a student here in town and in Cedar Drive and at the high school. However, I was here tonight. I hadn't come to these too often, but I was here tonight to, and I do want to also thank all the service members and the people here that are feeling, what they're saying. I was actually going to come here tonight to try to, I was looking at this list of names. I was going to speak on the idea that I was also going to add my name to opposing the idea of renaming the schools. And however, I understand that your board has come to a conclusion that you may be going to do that. Okay, not do that. All right, so that's, I just want to appreciate you guys considering that and the work that you did and the thought process going into that. And I guess I don't have to complain. I appreciate what you're thinking about. But I just think that it was going to be, it's a little bit of a divisive issue now. It might be, the board be better served to try to focus their efforts on things that are going to directly help the students and sounded like there could be a lot of expense involved. And the Conover name is a very traditional and, historical name for the town, and it's worthy of being on the schools as far as I'm concerned. So I guess I just want to thank you for your hard work, and I appreciate reconsidering the idea of leaving things as they are for now. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, yeah. Oh, look at this. Hi.
I'm back.
How are you?
I'm good.
It's
How
so
are you?
good to see you.
My name is Sean Kayla. I live on Conover and Laredo.
Can I just say something really quick, if you don't mind? Just everybody, you were one of our student liaisons. The first class, when I first put this program in play with the help of the board, he volunteered to be one of our first student liaisons. I remember you. I'm so glad you came back.
Yeah, we were on the building committee together.
Yes, we did. We did that long tour of the facilities together. It's so nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. I just really wanted to thank all of you guys for not renaming the schools. You know, I went to Cedar. I really did enjoy it. I feel like all of you actually do care about the schools, but some of the time we can get misconstrued and clouded with politics and all that. So I really do want to thank you for staying clear with Conover, and that's like a good name. Like, no need to change anything. The school system's good. We've been doing good. So I really do want to thank you, and I feel that you guys do care about the kids. So
We certainly do, and I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to meet you and work with you and the fantastic initiatives you brought forward. I actually remembered all that you brought forth, and we thank you for coming back and sharing your opinions with us. It really means a lot to me that you came back and saw us. So thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. All right, any other residents? Oh, Mrs. Diener, how are you?
I'm in place of my daughter tonight.
Oh, excellent,
She's
yes.
home doing schoolwork.
That's okay.
Tracy Diener, 5 months Stella Court. Just want to also tell you all thank you. Thank you very much for thinking about not renaming the school. I came here tonight to say that I didn't want it to be renamed for a plethora of reasons, but most importantly, safety. And unfortunately, the world that we live in now has a lot of crazy people. Whether or not we're Trump supporters or we're not, the fact of the matter is there's crazy people in the world, unfortunately, right? So while there's been no direct threats, I appreciate that, and thank you for saying that, Ms. Volpe. You never know what's going to happen. And honestly, the kids are why you're all here. The kids are why we're all here. And so I just want to tell you all thank you. I know what you guys do is hard work, and so thank you very much, but thank you also for not moving forward with that. I much appreciate it.
Yep. No worries.
Thank you.
I just want to make a comment. You can floor, please. Like I said earlier, I know a few people came in late to the meeting, but I just want to reiterate, during new business at every meeting, I always open the floor to gain insight, opinions, suggestions, arguments, whatever, for the board members to bring forth an idea. No committees were ever formed. This discussion lasted about 3 minutes, and I understand Mr. Scales's sentiment when he brought forth the idea, and I just want to add some comments. President Trump has been an advocate for parental rights, and I think everybody here knows that this board is a strong supporter of parental rights. And the fact that he upheld the integrity of Title IX was very big to me, having a daughter, that she can compete in sports fairly and equally without the shattering of males competing with her. And all these wonderful things that he brought forth regarding students and their well-being means a lot to me. And I believe it meant a lot to Mr. Scales. And the fact that he just proposed it in a meeting, nothing was ever moving forward. It was just a nice thing, a sentiment, and I appreciated it, Mr. Scales. I'm sorry that this got blown out of proportion, but I just wanted to let you know that. So anyway, those are just a few comments. All right, we'll open it back up to any residents that are in our town. Yep, come on up. If you could state your name, I forgot to say, I'm sorry, Vince, I forgot to say state your name and address for the record. I'm so sorry.
Kathy Gizzo, 32 Yellowbrook Drive, Colts Neck. I understand that also at the March 4th Board of Ed meeting, Ms. Volpe brought up the information that she had contacted President Trump to visit the district. Ms. Volpe and Mr. Walsh contacted him. And I thought, well, why would that be the case? Why is the board president acting really individually on something like that? So in an attempt to, gain some perspective, I reviewed your strategic plan, which I know is a 5-year strategic plan that represents the priorities of the entire community. All stakeholders are involved in preparing that document, and I also reviewed your board goals and district goals. And there was nothing in there about, naming a school, but we won't talk about that because that's not happening. And, inviting a sitting president, this president, to come to visit our district. So I want to just state that I strongly oppose inviting President Trump to this district. And the reasons are that it's controversial, it raises safety and security concerns, it imposes undue stress on our limited resources in this district, and it really will divert the superintendent's attention from the important work of this district. So rather than impose your personal and/or political views onto this public school, I urge you to focus all of your time and attention on the priorities that have been established by this community, which are clearly specified in the strategic plan, and your board goals and district goals come from that. And to provide the superintendent with the support she needs to deliver on those priorities.
If I can just address you, Mrs. Gizzo, if I could just respectfully address you. First of all, this board remains totally committed to making sure that Dr. Garibay gets everything she absolutely needs to make sure that our district strives and achieves the highest accolades around the state, first of all. Secondly, inviting a sitting president, my opinion, I'm sure the board would support me, I don't believe would be a negative for our kids. I really don't. He's a sitting president, and it was an invitation. Like I said, I highly doubt it would happen, but the invitation still stands, and I'm not going to retract that, but I do appreciate your comments. Thank you. All right. Anybody else, a resident of this community that would like to stand up? Anybody, latecomers, a resident? Nobody? Okay. All right. We're going to open it up to the, did you, no? Yes? No? Okay. You resident? I believe she's a resident. It's up to you. You don't have to, but I just want to give the residents the respect to come up first. Okay. So, no? Okay. All right, anybody else could, we'll open up to the public. Just state your name and address for the record.
My name's Diana Hanat. I am a resident, and I am also a graduate of Cedar Drive for Colts Neck Schools.
Oh, that's awesome. Welcome back.
Thank you for not renaming the school. I have always, Conover Road is named after the original family here. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's not a mic, unfortunately. If you can try to raise your voice a tiny bit so the folks in the back could appreciate your comment.
Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you.
All right. We appreciate you coming and sharing that with us, so thank you. Yep.
Hi there, my name's Patrice Swarbrick, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker, state of New Jersey. I've worked in school-based settings, child study teams, system of care. My vested interest in Monmouth County is because I predominantly work with families and children in Monmouth County. And I'm also coming as a lover of New Jersey history. So it's kind of moot, but my proposition was to propose an alternative name. How many here are familiar with Captain Joshua Huddy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I got some information from Colts Neck Historic Preservation Committee. Through this undated book you have in your library, they're approximating about 1965. So I do want to kind of give a shout out, and maybe there's a way that we could incorporate this. My idea, I've already reached out to Ted Maturo of Monmouth 250. I didn't know you guys had a Colts Neck 250. And if there's a way that the Historical Committee, the Monmouth 250, the Colts Neck 250, and the schools can collaborate, and here's why. Captain Joshua Huddy was appointed legislature in 1777 to the command of the company of artillery to be raised from the militia of the state. Huddy, a resident of Colts Neck, and whose site where he lived is currently owned by Tom Camarada on County Road 537, right next to Colts Neck Inn. September 1780, refugees commanded by Colonel Tye attacked Captain Huddy's home, set it on fire. He was taken, but Huddy was able to escape when refugees boarded their boats right near Black Point, which is between Shrewsbury and Navesink River. Huddy was finally captured while defending the ford of Toms River, March 24th, 1782. On April 12th, Captain Richard Lippincott, a neighbor of Huddy, took him off his ship and accused him of the murder of Philip White, a loyalist and half-brother of Lippincott's wife. Huddy claimed White had been killed almost a week after his own capture. Apparently, British were planning to exchange him for another prisoner, but in retaliation, they suggest having Huddy hanged. So guess what? They hang Huddy, right? His body was left hanging. When the Americans came, they took it to Freehold, the house of Captain James Green. He was buried with honors of war. But this wasn't the end, because there was a great outcry against the injustice of his execution. There was a commission reported to Washington and Congress, and indicating that intention to retaliate unless Lippincott surrendered to revolutionary court-martial. So, in retaliation for the murder of Huddy, a British captain was to be executed in his place. But his mother managed to obtain the sympathy of the King and Queen of France, who were able to intercede with Congress. He was sent a passport. He was able to go to the British forces in New York. Great relief at having spared the killing of an innocent man in a retaliatory measure. And this is the most important point. For once, blood was not answered with blood. My idea is, what are the learning objectives for the students? They can learn about history of real New Jerseyans from
I don't want to
revolutionary
cut you off,
times.
but you're at your time. But
Gotcha.
if you want to wait, you could come back up. I just don't want to,
Okay.
take from the rest of the
And
community.
even to track local lineage. I'm sure there's descendants of Huddy somewhere.
I'm
in the
sure.
area.
I'm sure. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Madam Board President. As you already know, Kylie Deneen, representing NJ Voters for Church and State Separation. We are a nonpartisan statewide organization focused on the separation of religion and government in New Jersey. When we had heard about the potential proposal to rename an elementary school after Donald Trump, we were obviously very concerned, because to us there is hard to imagine another U.S. president in recent history more against the separation of church and state than Donald Trump. So we put together a little bit of a contest to give you some ideas. Should you ever in the future pursue renaming a school or opening a new school with a name, that you have some alternatives to choose from. So I have condensed them for you. We got a lot of submissions in, and this is a condensed version. Well, number one was probably Conover Road Elementary School. Multiple submissions were to not rename the school at all, citing that it's already named after a local family who donated their land, which I know your superintendent did bring up during the last meeting. A similar sentiment was found in, I kept off some of the nastier ones, but this one was Board, B-O-R-E-D, of Education Elementary, with the submitter writing, "This is a waste of time and resources and is bringing much unwanted negative attention to the Colts Neck school system. The Board of Education should instead just focus on children's education and not this entirely unnecessary nonsense." There was a note that if we should name a school after someone who's living, it should be someone who's both local and has historical significance. And we got multiple submissions for Bruce Springsteen Elementary, some noting the charitable contributions he's made to the local community. We similarly got John Bon Jovi Elementary. Good choice. We got Queen Latifah Elementary, which I actually didn't know that she had lived here. We got John Stewart Elementary.
Yep.
No? All right. We got fun ones like Schooly McSchoolface, which if you're not familiar with the lore behind that, you have to Google that. You have to Google Schooly McSchoolface. The Colts Neck Center for Kids Who Can't Read Good and Who Want to Learn to Do Other Stuff Good Too, which was a Zoolander reference. This one was my personal favorite, I think, was Colts neck, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. The one that I came up with in honor of America 250 was, let me out of this coffin. This isn't the country I wanted. Let me out. Elementary, subtitle, a school dedicated to founding father Thomas Jefferson. In case the secretary is taking notes, that's with 6 A's and out with 5 T's, so that it lingers a little bit like the screams of Thomas Jefferson from inside his coffin. Another revolutionary one I thought was really good was Joshua Huddy Elementary. I think the last speaker sold that way better than I could hear. We also got Molly Pitcher, General von Steuben. I mean, there's a never-ending supply of those involved in our local history. There was also a mention for Purple Heart Primary School with the submitter writing, I went to school in Colts Neck, and they always had a strong military family presence there. And I think that that's an interesting suggestion as well to honor military service as a whole. We got some cute ones, like...
Your time is up.
Oh, is
I'll
up?
let you name
Okay.
2 more, just out of respect, 2 more, if you want to say.
Okay. Well, I could come back if you prefer. Is that easier for you? I think I'll come back for the second session.
All right. Anybody else want to come up and make a comment? It's open to anybody at this point. Just state your name and address for the record. Hello.
Good evening. Sorry, it's a little warm in here. My name's John, and since January I've been living in hell. I'm relieved to hear that the plans of dedicating a building to a living president has been done away with. With all due respect, we've elected a rapist into presidency whose concepts are led by conservative think tanks lined with deep pockets, whose concepts are led... Oh, I already read that line, fuck. Whose concepts are lined with deep pockets, undermining the Constitution and giving power to arbitrary authorities, all while running cover for a child trafficking ring. It's been said, hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times, and good times, they create weak men. The weak bastard masquerading as someone special.
Watch your language for the public and
Okay. All right.
Respectfully.
Okay, yeah, you can...
The guy
Okay.
masquerading as president doesn't give a darn to anyone who doesn't kiss the ring. I applaud your placation towards a toddler. I'm glad you see that what every foreign power also sees. His easy, manipulated ego. I pray your intentions aren't nefarious, even though history often rhymes. The Middle East is perfect example why religion has no place in government. To think Christian nationalism is any different is not only a slap to our grandparents, but is also a clear indication you have no business in education. The greatest generation also sacrificed their lives fighting the evils in our world. When Nuremberg was finished and the trial was concluded, Trump's grandfather was banished from Germany. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Okay, hello.
Hello.
State your name and address for the record.
My name is Sean Scurlo. I live on 11 Deepwood Lane. I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you for the continued attention. I wanted to mention the bus stop recording because I think that's so incredible, and that's been something that I know when I was a kid, that was something I was always concerned about. A little bit older now, but when I was in the elementary school, my neighbor would always walk across the street, and I'd always see cars running right by, and I was scared, and so I really do appreciate that attention. I do want to thank this kind sir who came up here and presented. One of those Purple Heart Primary School I actually submitted, so that was really cool to hear. I do want to, not to bring the mood down, but I do want to just mention that I think Conover, what it stands for, is such inclusion. And one thing that was really important to me was the inclusions of disabled and people who don't think alike. And I think our president, some comments were made the other week that just really disheartened me about people with disabilities, and that's what I think honoring is so dangerous. And I think honoring somebody who we don't know that their legacy is permanent, it could change. And I think that's something so important, you know, even inviting him to our school, I think that's such a cool opportunity. But I just worry about people with disabilities and people who we strive in our school system, you know, who can really do anything. And that's such a cool thing that Conover Road represents. But I do want to thank you. I mean, it's incredible that we came out here, you know, and immediately you were like, shut this down, and I appreciate that. So thank you, guys.
I just want to address you. What was your first name again?
Sean.
Sean, thank you so much for coming out. You're such a well-rounded young man.
Thank you.
I appreciate your sentiment and the comments, and you're going to do good things in life. You're a true leader. Thank you for coming out and
Appreciate
sharing your opinion with us. Thank you.
Good evening, Rick Cohen, 2 Old Farm Road. I want to thank the board and servicemen for all their service. What you do takes a lot of time and energy, and we appreciate all that you do. And as well, Dr. Garabay, thank you. Superintendent, it's not an easy job, so appreciate all the work that you're doing. I did want to echo the thank yous for not renaming the school. Having been in education all my life, one thing we know for sure with kids is that when they see themselves in the school and they feel that they belong and they are included, they learn much better. So I see this decision as a good job on your part to ensure that all kids feel like they belong and they can see themselves in the school, no matter what their thoughts are, their perspectives, their beliefs, or their decisions. So thank you for your dedication to ensuring that all kids feel belong.
Thank you for coming. Yep. I just want to let you know, sir, all of us on the board, we always remain cognizant of what you just said, and we are firm believers of making our district, all 3 campuses, a welcoming environment for every student, regardless of disabilities, handicaps, you know, grade performance. We really prioritize that, so we really want to appreciate, thank you for your comments on that, so thank you. Yep, come on up. State your name and address for the record.
Kevin O'Brien, 18E Enclosure. I appeared this evening to comment on the school closings in Middletown, Patterson, Montclair, Westwood, and others, and to ask about the state funding cuts. So thank you for responding on the state funding cuts. Well, we hope nothing's going to change in Colts Neck. Hopefully they'll keep the schools open. That's first and foremost. Thank you for, again, the reductions in the school funding were really appreciated. The affordable housing discussions may not be what we all want, but it's not going to change the charm of Colts Neck. Naming a school after a president is an honor. Trump is polarizing. Most people love him or hate him. You got one side of the coin or the other. There's no middle in the road. He won the presidency twice. In our country, we have the right to free speech, and I appreciate that. In other countries, you could be arrested or worse for expressing your feelings. While I took no position on the renaming change, I thank you for listening. And I even thank the residents behind me who shared their views politely, logically, and calmly. It works best. Decades ago, little story, I had the pleasure of speaking at my high school speaking class. I gave Nixon's Watergate speech. He resigned, but he also ended the war in Vietnam. I sat directly in front of him at the NCAA basketball game. I had better seats. We met again years later. I also met G. Gordon Liddy and had a drink with General and Secretary of State Alexander Haig. I did not always agree with their actions. I did, and I still respect them for their time in our nation's history. We've had 45 people as our lead in our country over the past 250 years. Not one has been perfect. Not everyone is willing to be, as Teddy Roosevelt wrote, the man in the arena. As a resident and an independent voter, the board committee has been solid in support of Colts Neck and the children of our community. As a team with the teachers, students, and parents, you made one of the best school districts in the state. So thank you. The quality of the education matters most, not the name on the building. I trust the board's judgment in what they do. Thank you.
Can I'd like to respond to you with some comments. I appreciate you recognizing the loss of schools in Middletown. It's a shame that their district is closing, I believe, 2 campuses over there? I'm sorry, 3 campuses. I know our district is much smaller, but this board is committed to making sure that we remain fiscally responsible in all the decisions we make. Thanks to our finance team, we oversee every single dollar going in and out of this district, and we do it very well. We were able to perform a zero tax increase for this town over the last 2 years, thanks to Mr. Walsh, previously Mrs. Camera, Mr. Scarpa, and Mr. Arrico. The amount of money we saved to make sure that no programs were cut, no teachers were fired, no campuses are going to be closed. We're very proud of our record here, and we appreciate you noticing how hard we work, that we are not in the papers for closing districts. As far as we are concerned, and we are on this board, none of those cuts will happen regardless of Mikey Chevel's negative impact on us with her 5.5 reduction in state funding. So thank you very much for recognizing that. And you could clap. We appreciate. At least someone thanks us. Thank you. Yeah, come on up.
Hi, I'm Alice Finney, and I live in Colts Neck on 5 Points Road. I thank you guys for everything you do and for spending your time, volunteering your time. You do a wonderful job. Thrilled about the Parental Bill of Rights, I've said in the past. I just wanted to say I looked up on Google, since everybody does that President Obama visited numerous public school districts throughout his presidency, but not a specific finalized total number is explicitly documented in the search results. He frequently visited schools for events, town halls, and to highlight initiatives like My Brother's Keeper and American Job Acts. So there are oftentimes presidents do visit the school, and there are over 4,889 schools that are renamed after presidents of the United States. I know it was just a suggestion and just an exploratory committee that you were suggesting, so it didn't even get very far. But I do think it was a great idea. I think he's going to go down. President Trump is one of the best presidents of this century. I think there's a lot of misinformation, and I just hope that some of the young people really listen to all sorts of information and actually listen to what is produced by the White House and what people are saying, some of the politicians are saying, because I think there's a lot of secondhand information that's coming out, and I think that, history will, will tell what the truth in the end. We'll find out. I also wanted to just comment briefly on this group. I feel like it's very organized too. I think the resistance is very organized. Most people are very happy with what's going on, that are informed with the presidential. And I feel so bad going after the last man that spoke, because he really summed it up so well. I want to just comment on separation of church and state. It was originally in a letter from Thomas Jefferson to the Danbury Baptist Society, who was afraid that the church, that the state was going to get involved in their faith in the schools and anything political, and because it happened in England when they were out there, and that's why people came to this country, because the state suppressed people allowing to freely worship their faith and forced everyone into the Anglican religion. And so it was in a letter. It's not in the Constitution, but it was made to protect the people, the people with faith, from the Danbury Baptist Society, and again a letter to say, no, we're not going to force you to follow state-regulated religion or government-regulated religion. So we are allowed to express our faith freely in the public arena. And it was originally the squares hired, the lawyers and politicians and teachers and people's faith, and the pastors were all there, and it was all part of our early forming of our government. So when everyone says, "Oh no, separation of church and state," that's a fallacy. We are allowed to freely express our faith, and I'm allowed to freely express my faith according to the New Jersey State Constitution, even in my job. Okay, but thank you very much, and for all you do again. And
Thank you. Anybody else welcome to come up and speak at this time? Just state your name and address for the record. Anybody else like to come up? Yeah, come on up.
I just want to say I'm from Marlboro, Jennifer Woodruff, and just want to applaud the board. I come here just to find out information on what I can go to Marlboro and say, this is what you you need to be doing. I'm trying to convince my daughter and son-in-law to move to Coltneck to be part of the school system, and this is a school board that is like no other. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else like to get up and share comments, complaints, suggestions? All right, I think we're done with that. We do have another comment later on in the meeting, so if anybody walks in and missed this opportunity. Okay, we are going to move into our action items now. I'd like to get a motion to move action items, just one. There's one action item. I'm sorry, two, the field trips. Can I get a motion to move those action items?
Motion.
Second.
All right, roll call, please.
Second was Mr. Arico. Thank you. The two action items, Mrs. Cameron,
Yes.
Mr. Arico,
Yes.
Mr. Scales,
Yes.
Mr. Scarpa,
Yes.
Mrs. Volpe,
Yes.
Mr. Walsh,
Yes.
Mr. Wickberg. Thank you. The motion carried.
Great. We have nothing under curriculum tonight.
We do.
I'm sorry, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I can't see. I'm so sorry, Mr. Raska. Okay, I need a motion to move the 4 items under curriculum.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments before we vote? Questions or comments? All right, I'll take a roll call.
Curriculum and instruction items 1 through 4, Mrs. Cameron,
Yes.
Mr. Arico,
Yes.
Mr. Scales,
Yes.
Mr. Scarpa,
Yes.
Mrs. Volpe,
Yes.
Mr. Walsh,
Yes.
and Mr. Wickberg. Yes. Thank you. You have a motion passed.
We have a quorum and a motion. All right, we're 1 for 1.
To repeat on the quorum. Yes.
Okay, I need a motion to move items 1 through 4 under finance. Motion?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments on those particular items? All right, roll call.
Mrs. Cameron,
Yes.
Mr. Arico,
Yes.
Mr. Scales,
Yes.
Mr. Scarpa,
Yes.
Mrs. Volpe,
Yes.
Mr. Walsh,
Yes.
Mr. Wickberg. Yes. Thank you. Motion passed.
Okay, I need a motion to move the 1 item under policy.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions on that particular item? All right, roll call.
Mrs. Cameron,
Under policy?
Wait a minute. Yeah, it's just one. It's really
Yeah,
small.
second page is
Oh,
9.
okay, yes, I just didn't see it. Thank you.
thank you. Mr. Arico,
Yes.
Mr. Scales,
Yes.
Mr. Scarpa,
Yes.
Wrong page.
Mrs. Volpe,
My head hurts. Yes.
Mr. Walsh,
Yes.
Mr. Wickberg. The motion carried.
All right, excellent. We have quite a few under personnel. I'll take a motion to move those items.
Motion.
Okay, that's quite a bit. Anybody have any questions or comments on those particular items?
I do.
Yeah.
So I love all the extracurricular activities we offer, but under number 10, when I was just reading through it, there's one club just hanging with Mr. H, and I was a little, the activity didn't really explain to me what that really is, so I just like a little more information on that one.
Games and activities and things like that, that's what it is, like an
Okay.
after-school hanging out, kind of non-athletic competition type of thing.
No, I was just curious.
Yep, no, absolutely, I get it.
Okay, any other questions on those items? Nope, I thought I saw somebody, I heard somebody. Okay, all right, I'll take a roll call on those items, 1 through 17. 1 through 17.
Oh, personnel, thank you. Mrs. Cameron?
Yes.
Mr. Rico?
Yes.
Mr. Scales?
Yes.
Mr. Scarpa? Yes. Mrs. Volpe?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. Whitford?
There's a lot of gaps. There's a lot of gaps in them.
Okay, so that brings us, oops, wait a minute, let me just make sure where we're at, all right. Okay, we are done with our action items. We have one more comments from the public section. If anybody wants to get up at this time, they're welcome to do so. Again, state your name and address for the record.
Okay. Actually, that was not that long of a wait. Kyla Deneen, representing NJ Voters for Church and State Separation. Continuing off of the list, we did Purple Heart. All right, so we had some cute ones, like Kindness Elementary, and the caption was, "What matters more than kindness?" We had Delicious Orchards Elementary with the subtitle being, "When I think of Colts Neck, I think Delicious Orchard. As a third-generation shopper," which that was a new one, a third-generation shopper, "I think this small family business deserves recognition. Naming a school after a small business is just as American as apple pie, and in parentheses, one of Delicious Orchard's bestsellers, I believe." It was Excelsior Elementary School, saying the word Excelsior signifies continued progress or excellence. This clearly reflects the youth of Colts Neck, New Jersey. We got one that was just literally anything besides Donald Trump. Please, I beg of you, literally anything else. I think that's perhaps too long for a school. I inserted my own because I have the privilege of being able to do that, which is both Pork Roll Elementary and Taylor Ham Elementary, which is to say that if we are to get controversial, we might as well go all the way. We got Danny DeVito Elementary. Someone said he's from NJ and brings joy into people's lives. Similarly, Judy Bloom Elementary. I know she has the rest stop as well, named after her. This was a new one. Nina E. Allender, who I was not previously familiar with, but was a suffragette cartoonist. There was a mention for Lenny Lenape Elementary School for the Native American heritage, and then there was the very generic Colts Neck Elementary School. We had more, but that was the shortened version. Someone on the way out mentioned to me the first principal of Conover was, what was it? Shirley Anderson, yes, which right, yes. So I wouldn't know that particular person, but she said that she was a very good principal. So that is the end of the list. I did want to clarify, per the previous speaker, we very much support the free exercision of religion. A big part of church and state separation is making sure that the government is not giving preference to one religion over another, which is why we have the free exercise clause in the Constitution, so that people are able to choose to spend their time worshiping how they choose to or not at all. So anyway, thank you and good evening.
Thank you for your comments. Anybody else like to make a final comment?
Dan Finney, 96, 5 Points. So just quickly, it occurred to me after I spoke last that something I remember is that in looking at these different threats, global threats and threats to the United States, they explained different reasons why armed conflict with the threat of conflict with several countries, including Russia and China, were diminishing because of common interests, trade partnerships, and a couple other details I forgot, I'm sure. But I thought that was very interesting because there was common ground and different efforts to keep an open dialogue in those things, whereas it was brought up over and over again about the great ideological divide that we have with Iran, and that their national leader's declaration of death to America, death to Israel, and they're coupled with their aspiration for weapons of mass destruction was a very unsettling factors. And so, just thinking about how we can have peace and the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness in the world has been extremely hampered in the Middle East region because of Iran. So I don't know, a lot of people aren't really fully aware of some of those things that have contributed to this, but I just want to share that with you. Okay. And
Thank you.
freedom, the simplified version is freedom of religion, not freedom from religion, was the intent of our framers, and the Danbury letter by Jefferson did not intend to, diminish that.
Thank you. All right. Anybody else like to get up? No? Okay. All right. Okay, I just want to make sure. All right, we're going to, I'm sorry? Yeah. Okay. All right, great. Thank you, everybody, for participating in our public comment. That will be the last one of the evening. At this time, we're closing public comment, moving right into new business. If anybody has any new business comments, questions.
I
they
do.
could Okay. Mr. Walsh.
I'd like to propose our school district host all the school boards in Monmouth County. Invite all the superintendents, invite all our residents, and invite all the politicians to discuss the impact of affordable housing on each town, how it affects our school budgets, how it affects our education. A forum where we all speak, stakeholders, particularly the school boards, have a constructive conversation, dialogue with everybody in attendance, and let's our district, be the genesis of trying to fight the affordable housing in the state of New Jersey and its impact on our taxpayers.
Okay, regarding this initiative or proposal, does the board agree to move forward on something like this?
I think we should socialize, but I'd like to second that. I think this board has stood on its basis of good communication. Today would be an excellent example of that. I think it's a wonderful opportunity to bring in other jurisdictions, in our state, so that and welcome less dialogue. We are not alone. This impacts the entirety of the state. We will be impacted. There's no denying that. We will be impacted. I think it's incredibly important, to Mr. Walsh's point, that we socialize this and we demonstrate our effectiveness and how we can collaborate. And let's share ideas. There's possibly some other ideas out there that we are not taking into consideration right now. Let's open it up. So if no other jurisdiction has started, why not us? So I support Mr. Walsh's piece here, and I would love to hear from the rest of the board on what they think.
Superintendent, I'd like you to spearhead that, being our superintendent.
I was just going to say, before she speaks, if we all agree, and I don't know what road of action you want to take, but we could reach out to Tim Tehan first to start there, I would think.
Sure. Yes, I think that we can always.
I don't think it's needed to reach out to our school board if we take the initiative of discuss the impact of affordable housing. I don't think we need guidance from the school board.
Okay.
I think we need to take the action as a school board. and just start this.
Okay. All right.
Less cooks in the kitchen. Get it
Okay.
done. Yeah.
That's fine with
I
me.
will third that.
Okay. From a
So
timing
what I
point
would
of
like
view.
to do, if there's a time frame in the next few months, have this meeting in the primary school, and maybe you communicate President Volpe, Superintendent Garabay with respective school boards and superintendents, and try to get this a date, and let's get this out to the community and make them aware of the meeting.
All right. Everybody good with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah? Okay. All right, so we'll work on that. Maybe me and you will have a discussion, a preliminary discussion in your office about it, just to get some details and direction on it. Okay, anybody else with new business?
Taking this week off.
Anybody else? New business? No. Okay. Seeing no more new business, before I close the meeting and move to executive, I just want to ask everybody to keep our military personnel in their prayers with the ongoing conflict. Just pray for these families. Some of these people that I mentioned earlier were just days away from coming home to their families, days away from, being relieved of their duties, and they lost their lives for us. So just keep them all in mind. Continue to pray for them. Okay, at this time, we are going to move into, I need a motion to move into executive session. We have two things on the table here, negotiations and a confidential student matter. We are going to conclude with the live stream. No action's obviously going to be taken on this. If I could
Motion.
get I'd say 30 minutes. No more than 30 minutes, I would think. We'll try to keep it way under 30 minutes.
And second. Thank you.
Okay, you got a second? All right. Okay, great. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. We appreciate your participation.
It's over.